It's 2026, and if you've noticed old, boxy TVs making a comeback, you're not imagining things. There's a massive movement happening among film lovers, retro gamers, and even experimental musicians like myself. And no, it's not just nostalgia. There are real, tangible reasons why this old 1980s RC ATV might actually look better to our eyes than a brand new 4K flat screen. So, why are people suddenly hunting for these relics? Let's break it down. First up is the magic of phosphor glow. Your modern flat screen, whether it's an LCD or an old, works with fixed pixels. An LCD uses a backlight that shines through tiny liquid crystals to create a picture. A CRT is completely different. It uses an electron gun to shoot a beam of electrons at a screen coated with phosphors. When the electrons hit, the phosphors don't just turn on. They glow, and then they slowly decay. This process creates a soft blue or halo effect around images. It's what makes skin tones on old movies look so warm and natural, and it gives edges an organic feel that sharp digital pixels just can't replicate. This glowing effect also leads to one of a CRT's biggest advantages: contrast. On a CRT, when a part of the screen is supposed to be black, the electron gun simply doesn't fire at that spot. If you've ever watched a dark movie on a standard LCD TV in a dark room, you've probably noticed that the black areas are more of a glowing grayish color. That's the backlight bleeding through. With a CRT, black is black. It's a level of contrast that only the most expensive modern OLEDs can begin to match, and even then, the quality of that contrast feels different. It feels more natural, less clinical. Next, let's talk about something that sounds technical, but is easy to see. Built-in anti-aliasing. If you're rewatching content that isn't the exact native resolution of your screen, like an old DVD or a classic video game, the TV has to use a process called upscaling. It's essentially guessing how to fill in the missing information. This often results in a look that can feel harsh, blocky, or even plasticky. A CRT doesn't have pixels in the same way. Instead, it has scan lines. The electron beam scans across the screen line by line, painting the image. These lines naturally blend the image together. For older content that was designed for this technology, this blending acts as a beautiful, natural filter. It smooths out jagged edges, hides imperfections in the source material, and gives the image a sense of depth and three-dimensionality that you lose on a pixel-perfect modern display. This is why retro games look so right on a CRT. It's the canvas they were designed for. Now for the reason that really gets the tech heads and gamers excited: zero motion blur and instant response time. Watch a fast-moving action scene or play a fast-paced game on most flat screens, and you'll notice motion blur. As objects move quickly across the screen, they can appear smeared or indistinct. This happens because the pixels on an LCD screen take a fraction of a second to change from one color to another. A CRT doesn't have this problem. The image is constantly being redrawn by the electron beam at an incredible speed. The phosphors glow and fade almost instantly. The result is perfectly clear, fluid motion. It looks incredibly real. Then there's input lag. On a modern smart TV, the signal from your game console or Blu-ray player has to go through a lot of computer processing before it ever reaches the screen. This processing for upscaling, image enhancement, and other features creates a tiny delay. It might only be a few milliseconds, but you can feel it. On this old RCA, there's no processing. The signal hits the tube, and the image appears. It's instant. That feeling of immediacy, of a direct connection to what's on screen, is something modern TVs have struggled to replicate. For gamers, that zero lag can be the difference between winning and losing. Beyond the technical specs, there's a certain vibe that a CRT brings, especially for someone like me who works with analog music gear. My setup with the Tascam Porta O2 tape machine and my Lab series L5 amp is all about a specific analog warmth and character. This CRT fits right in. It has its own sensory signature. It rests the subtle static and the iconic high-pitched hum. That 15.7 kilohertz whine that anyone who grew up with these TVs will instantly recognize. It's a sound that's completely absent from silent digital screens. It adds to the atmosphere. And let's not forget the aspect ratio. This TV has a 4:3 screen, which is almost a square. Nearly all movies and TV shows made before the early 2000s were created for this shape. When you watch The Godfather or an episode of Seinfeld on a modern 16:9 widescreen TV, you either get black bars on the sides, or the image is cropped or stretched to fill the screen. Neither is ideal. On a CRT like this, you're seeing the film exactly as the director and cinematographer framed it. The composition is preserved, presented just as it was intended. So it's no surprise that in 2026, my friends are actively hunting for these things. Finding a good working CRT from a reliable brand like RCA, Sony Trinitron, or JVC is getting harder. They're becoming rare and valuable, like vintage instruments. In a way, that's exactly what they are. Analog synthesizers for light. The way they render an image is an art form in itself. For my own music project, Zero Antarctica, the possibilities are even more exciting. You can actually get into video synthesis. I could route the audio output from my PV mixer directly into this TV's video input. With the right adapters, I can create visual patterns and abstract light shows that pulsate and react in real time to my tape-saturated music. It's a way to create a fully immersive, analog audio-visual experience. If you in an area like North Central Arkansas, and you inspired to start your own hunt, it can be a challenge. But don't give up. Look for local forums, flea markets, and maybe even specialized hobbyist groups. Organizations like the Antique Wireless Association are great resources, as their members often have deep knowledge of early television technology and might know where to find one or how to fix it. So the next time you see one of these old beasts on the curb, don't just see it as junk. You're looking at a unique piece of technology that offers a visual experience modern screens can't quite capture. It's a different way of seeing, and for many of us, it's a better one. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this dive into retro tech, be sure to like and subscribe for more. See you next time.